Sam McCall is on the case as Sasha remains a drugged mess. The General Hospital recap for August 17, 2023, features Sam helping Cody go all in on proving what Glady is doing to Sasha. In this episode, Dr. Monaco continued his evil plot against Sasha, while Gladys did what she could to keep Cody away. At the pool, Spencer and Trina spent some time together, but Ezen was right there lurking. At rehab, Selena made Curtis an offer he absolutely refused. And finally, at GH, Willow got great news while Betty presented revealing news to Austin and Mason. Now let's dig a little deeper into the details. Cody, Josh Kelly, and Sam, Kelly Monaco, met up so he could ask for more help. He needed to rescue Sasha, Sophia Matson, and she had to help him do that. He told her about his visit with Sasha and how he was sure she was being drugged. Gladys, Bonnie Burrows, arrived at the Port Charles Police Department and told Dante she wanted a restraining order against Cody. Mac, John J. York, and Dante, Dominic Zamprogna, had to agree to it since she is Sasha's guardian, but something still felt off. Dan reminded Mac that anything Glady said about Cody needed to be taken with a grain of salt. By the time Cody got there, insisting Sasha was being drugged, Gladys had her restraining order and told Cody there was no way he would see Sasha again. Cody insisted that Gladys was the one who belonged in Ferncliff, insisting Gladys only wanted Sasha's money. Cody even lunged for Gladys and had to be held back. Sasha was still groggy and confused at Ferncliff, and the nurse wanted to know what she was taking because her prescribed meds wouldn't cause such behavior. The nurse even ordered a blood test, which alarmed the evil doc. When alone, Dr. Montague told Sasha she was taking illegal drugs, and she insisted she was being given something. When the doctor met with the front desk nurse, he insisted that another nurse practitioner be assigned to Sasha's case. Once alone with Sasha, Dr. Montague shot her up with more of whatever was keeping her practically catatonic. At least Sam managed to sneak in as part of her quest to figure out what was really going on. Trina, Tabiana Ali, and Spencer, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, both ended up at the Metro Court pool, her with Ava Mora West, and him with Ace. Trina couldn't wait to go back to the Jerome Gallery, and Ava was happy to have her back. Trina found Spencer and Ace's pool moves to be adorable, but Ava wondered how Trina felt about Spencer spending so much time with Esma. Nina, Cynthia Watrous, interrupted before she could answer, so Trina went to join Spencer and Ace poolside. As Ace and Trina bonded, Esm, Avery Kristen Pole, looked on, but Spencer could only pay attention to Trina as she poured out her heart about what Portia, Brooke Kerr, was going through with Curtis, Donald Turner. Spencer suggested that she go to her mother, so she left to see Portia. When Trina was gone, Esm saw an opening and joined Spencer and Ace. Nina sat down with Ava for a celebration lunch, but Ava didn't want to specify what they were celebrating. Nina guessed it had something to do with what Ava and Sunny were talking about the day before, but Ava still kept mum. Nina felt left out, so Ava assured her there was nothing for her friend to worry about. Marshall, Robert Gossett, stopped by Portia's office to discuss some issues at the Savoy. They needed Curtis to run the place, and now the club was a hot mess. Marshall insisted that he and Portia needed to be the ones to keep Curtis's dream alive. Curtis grew more frustrated at rehab as he couldn't even do things he was able to do the day before. Selena, Lydia Look, was also there listening in on everything. When she finally approached Curtis, she offered to buy the Savoy. Marshall heard that news and immediately told her that wouldn't be happening. He assured Curtis he would keep the Savoy going without Selena's help. Willow, Catelyn McMullen, was outside her bubble and at the hospital for a checkup, and was thrilled when she was told she was well enough to be out in public again on a regular basis. She couldn't be in large crowds or go back to work, but she could get a large part of her life back. Austin Roger Howarth was surprised to see Betty, Ella Lentini, in his office holding a flash drive that she dubbed the jackpot. When Mason Nathaniel Gray arrived, Betty handed over the flash drive. Austin was just sick of it all though and announced he was out. Mason once again told him that the boss won't let him out, so that was that. Dex, Evan Hofer, tried to keep an eye on Austin for Sonny's, Morris Bernard, sake, but he was constantly interrupted, first by Michael, Chad Duell, and later by Portia. He did manage to spot Mason heading to the office and followed. Trina Robinson leans on Spencer. General Hospital spoilers for August 16, 2023 reveal family anguish, happy news, dirty schemes, and so much more. You won't want to miss a moment of this emotional new episode. Trina, Tabiana Ali, may be happy that she got Curtis, Donald Turner, to talk to her and spend some time with her, but he is still so distant, especially with her mother. Everything that has happened over the last few months has been overwhelming, and she's hardly had any alone time with Spencer. Nicholas Alexander Chaves that changes on Wednesday when Spencer and Trina have the opportunity to spend some time together. She confides in him about how she has been feeling, but will Portia, Brooke Kerr, or Esmem, Avery Kristen Pohl show up to thwart their moment? Will Trina even be honest about how she feels regarding Spencer's new truce with Esmem Michael? Chad Duell takes some time to observe Dex, Evan Hofer. Does he watch him on the job to make sure he doesn't blow his cover with Sonny Morris Bernard, or does he watch him with his sister and wonder how serious they are getting? Perhaps Michael will see that Dex might not be cut out for this job. As for Willow, Caitlin McMullen, she receives some very welcome news. It seems too soon for her to be in remission, but maybe it's met too soon for her to be released from her bubble and live in the real world again. She might feel a few twinges of guilt that Sasha, Sophia Matson, is in mental anguish at Ferncliff, but Gladys, Bonnie Burrows, has to always think of herself first. If Sasha being a tortured soul works to Gladys's advantage, then she has to let that happen, and nobody can get in her way. That includes Cody, Josh Kelly, who she once again thwarts as he tries to get to the truth. Finally, GA spoilers say that Sam, Kelly Monaco, launches a new investigation. While it's only been suspicions until now, does she finally go full speed ahead to find out what really happened to Sasha and what Gladys has really been up to? Is GH never going to be safe again? General Hospital fans first found out there was even such a thing as the World Security Bureau back in December 1980, when a dashing secret agent by the name of Robert Scorpio swept across our screens, promising to save the world. Robert, Tristan Rogers, had a cool sidekick named O'Reilly, Billy Hayes. He was joined by Luke, Anthony Geary, and Laura, Jenny Francis. They just brought down the Port Charles mob the year before, so we knew all three were the good guys and on the side of the angels. So what went wrong 40-some years later? Sure, we had clues that not everything was perfect in the land of the WSB. Anna, Finola Hughes, had been exposed as a double agent. Scene, John Rayleigh, was in cahoots with her to steal Felicia's, Christina Wagner, family treasure. Connie, not the Bensonhurst one, an earlier flame of Roberts, played by Gina Michaels, couldn't figure out that Grant, Brian Patrick Clark, was a DVX spy and almost allowed him to blow up the world with the Prometheus disc. So they weren't perfect. But when did they become utterly corrupt? We have to assume their downward slide began when they let Fricko, Jack Wagner, run the place. A former rock and roller turned agent who pretty much abandoned his wife and daughters. He's not exactly an upstanding guy. We can imagine him letting standards slide. A lot, remember Robert? Luke? Laura? Who were they battling that summer of 1981 to restore truth, justice, and the American way? They were battling the Cassadines. So how in the world did Victor, Charles Shaughnessy, ever manage to make himself head of the WSB? That's when everything really went downhill. Pikeman seems like a minor blot compared to Victor. But maybe the real problem isn't the WSB. Maybe it was always rotten to the core. The only difference was that back in the 1980s, we could still pretend that the government had our best interests at heart. Now that we know that they don't, there's no point in anyone pretending otherwise, including the WSB.